Attention passionate Kansas City CHIFS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Kansas City Chiefs' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Kansas City Chiefs fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Kansas City CHIFS FANS. Let's get to the news now. Chiefs fans, buckle up, because what I'm about to tell you is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing storylines as we head into the 2024 NFL season. The AFC West, as many of you know, has been a fierce battleground over the past few years, with the Chiefs dominating the division, especially after their Super Bowl victories in 2019 and again in 2022. But this offseason, there's been a lot of chatter about how things might be shifting, not just in the division but across the conference. And a lot of it involves the quarterback position, which, as we all know, is the most critical spot on any team's roster. The Chiefs, of course, have their franchise quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, who's considered by many to be the best in the league right now. His ability to extend plays, make throws from impossible angles, and deliver when it matters most has redefined what it means to be a quarterback in today's NFL. Mahomes is the engine that drives this team, but beyond him, the Chiefs have been very strategic in building depth at the quarterback position, something that's often overlooked, but is absolutely vital in a league where injuries and unexpected struggles can happen at any moment. Now, looking at the landscape of the AFC West, teams are not sitting still. The Denver Broncos, Los Angeles Chargers, and even the Las Vegas Raiders have all been making moves, whether through draft picks, free agency, or coaching changes to try to close the gap or even surpass the Chiefs. But what's really catching attention is how the Chiefs are planning to maintain their edge, not just by focusing on their star, but also by ensuring their backups and potential replacements are ready to step in if needed. And here's where things get interesting. The quarterback room for the Chiefs is pretty solid, but it's not overflowing with experience. Beyond Mahomes, the team has been working with guys like Blaine Gabbert, who's been a reliable veteran presence, and a few younger players trying to carve out their roles. Now, in the NFL, having a veteran backup or a mentoring presence can make all the difference, especially during a long, grinded-out season. So naturally, rumors and reports have started swirling about potential moves, and one name keeps coming up in discussions: Teddy Bridgewater. For those of you who might not remember, Teddy Bridgewater isn't just any quarterback. He's a guy who's been through a lot in his career, injuries, comebacks, and still managing to stay relevant in the league. Bridgewater, of course, made a name for himself during his time with the Minnesota Vikings, where he showed flashes of brilliance before suffering a devastating knee injury. But what many Chiefs fans might forget is that Bridgewater actually had a stint with the New Orleans Saints, and he left a pretty good impression there. In fact, Bridgewater spent the 2018 and 2019 seasons with the Saints, during which he played in 14 games with 6 starts. And let me tell you, his performance was more than respectable. Over those 2 seasons, he threw for a total of 10 touchdown passes against just 3 interceptions. Not flashy, but efficient, smart, and most importantly, experienced. That kind of veteran presence is exactly what a young locker room needs, especially one that's still trying to find its identity and build chemistry. This brings us to an interesting point. The Saints, during that period, had a pretty solid system, and Bridgewater was viewed not just as a backup, but as a stabilizing influence in the quarterback room. His leadership qualities, football IQ, and calm under pressure earned him respect across the league. Now, the idea of bringing him back to New Orleans on a short-term deal, or even as a mentor for the younger quarterbacks, is something that's been floated around. And it's not just speculation. Teams are always looking for that veteran voice, especially when they have a young core trying to figure out the NFL's complex landscape. But why are we talking about Teddy Bridgewater in the context of the Chiefs? Well, if you think about it, the Chiefs are always looking for ways to strengthen their roster, especially in the quarterback room. Even with Mahomes under center, having a seasoned veteran who understands how to manage a game, provide leadership, and help develop the younger guys can be a game changer. And Bridgewater, with his 65 NFL starts, fits that bill perfectly. His familiarity with the league, combined with his leadership qualities, could be invaluable in a season where every game is critical and every moment counts. Now, let's not forget what the Chiefs have been doing on the field recently. The team's offense, as always, is loaded with talent. Mahomes is still in his prime, and the supporting cast around him, Travis Kelce, the dynamic receivers, and the offensive line are all in place. The challenge has been to find enough depth and stability at the backup quarterback position to ensure that, if Mahomes were to go down for any reason, the team could still compete at a high level. That's a key part of the puzzle. In recent years, the Chiefs have shown that they're willing to make bold moves. Remember when they acquired Orlando Brown Jr. to bolster the offensive line, or when they made strategic draft picks to add speed and versatility. That same mindset applies to their approach to the quarterback position. Bringing in a veteran like Teddy Bridgewater, or even exploring other options, would be a smart move to keep their championship window open and to maintain that competitive edge in the AFC. But it's not just about adding a veteran for the sake of depth. It's about adding someone who can contribute meaningfully, who can mentor the younger players, and who can step in seamlessly if needed. The Chiefs' current quarterback room has some promising talent, but experience at that level makes all the difference when the pressure is on. Patrick Mahomes sets the standard, but behind him, players like Shane Buechele or even undrafted rookies are still developing. Having someone like Bridgewater around could accelerate that development and provide a sense of security for the entire team. And speaking of the team's overall outlook, the Chiefs are entering what could be a pivotal season. The AFC is loaded with talent. Teams like the Bills, Bengals, Jets, and even the Ravens are all looking to dethrone the reigning kings. The Chiefs, despite their success, know that every season brings fresh challenges, and the margin for error is razor-thin. That's why the offseason moves, roster adjustments, and strategic signings are so crucial. It's about keeping that edge and ensuring that they can respond to whatever the league throws at them. Now, for Chiefs fans, it's easy to get excited about the stars, Mahomes, Kelce, Chris Jones, and others. But it's also important to recognize that the depth and leadership in the locker room can often be the difference between a championship and an early playoff exit. That's why the potential return or signing of a veteran like Teddy Bridgewater has generated so much buzz. It's about adding experience, stability, and a calming presence in a locker room full of young, hungry players eager to prove themselves. It's a strategic move that could pay dividends when it counts most. As we look ahead to training camp and the preseason, all eyes will be on how the Chiefs' quarterbacks perform and how the team shapes up overall. The coaching staff, led by Andy Reid, has always been known for its adaptability and strategic thinking. They know that building a resilient team means having options, and veteran leadership can be the ace up their sleeve. Whether they decide to bring in Bridgewater, look elsewhere in free agency, or rely on their young guns, the message is clear. The Chiefs are committed to maintaining their dominance in the AFC and beyond. And let's not forget, this is a team that's been to the top twice in the last few years, and they're hungry for more. Mahomes is still in his prime, and the coaching staff is continually evolving to keep the team fresh and unpredictable. The AFC West may be getting tougher, but the Chiefs are not backing down. They're planning to fight for every inch, and with strategic moves like potentially adding a seasoned veteran, they're making sure they're prepared for whatever storm comes next. So, for all of you diehard Chiefs fans out there, the excitement is building. The offseason is always a time of speculation, but it's also a time for smart moves and strategic planning. Whether the Chiefs go all in on veteran leadership or continue to develop their young core, one thing is certain. Kansas City remains a team to watch, a team that's always looking to push the boundaries and set new standards. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about the possibility of bringing Teddy Bridgewater back into the mix? Do you believe that adding that experience and leadership could make the difference in a playoff run? Or do you think the team should focus solely on developing their young talent? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Kansas City Chiefs. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and insights into everything Chiefs related. Stay tuned, because the best is yet to come, and we're right here with you, covering every step of this incredible journey.